Yeah, I found CrossFit in 2011, late 2011. I opened up my affiliate, but I'd heard about CrossFit and from a friend of mine, Steve, and then I'd also heard about it from, I think, the movie 300. Kind of heard that the guys did some CrossFit training, and anyway, I looked into it. I'd heard about it about a year or two earlier, but I didn't really look into it. And then I looked into it and I was like, man, why not look into this earlier? So I investigated it, looked what was needed to open up an affiliate, saw what the prerequisites were, and spoke to Cindy and said, listen, this is what I think we should be doing. She thought I was a little bit crazy. Yeah, the culture of what sort of CrossFit did fitted very well with what I was doing in terms of sort of love biokinetic work, but I had a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club, and I just loved training, and I loved the outdoors, and I loved competing in sport and doing sports since a young age, and training, functional training, I'd say. I didn't do your typical bodybuilding training, but I did a lot of functional training on the farm, pulling sleds, throwing stones around or running with stones, also lifted weights and stuff, but it was a lot more functional. It's pretty functional for I'd say, 20-something years ago. And I decided to open a CrossFit affiliate, and that's kind of how we got going in terms of CrossFit. And we started really simple. We didn't have much equipment. Didn't have any bumpers, had metal plates, and I made a rig out of old boxing. On top of the boxing punch bags, we had just a bar for the pull-ups, and yeah, we didn't have, I think we had like one kettlebell or two kettlebells, so it was really a basic setup, garage type gym setup, and yeah, that's how we started. And then decided to open, with that I decided to enter the open. Heard about the comp. I actually decided to enter fitness in Cape Town. I did better than I expected. I think I got a 7th place, but I'd only been in CrossFit for a few months. And then I thought, I'll enter the open, and then I managed to win that. And I was like, okay. Managed to go to regionals and managed to win that, 2012, and then I went to the games. Competing in 2012 at the CrossFit Games, I was an old Bali rookie, I would say. I was pretty old already. I was, I think, 35 back then, I think. I had made it to CrossFit Games, but I was actually a rookie. I'd only been in CrossFit for about 6 months. So yeah, I arrived at the CrossFit Games, and I had watched guys like Rich and Dan Bailey, Matt Chan, Jason Khalipa, Chris Spieler. Luckily, I'd done a lot of competitions, or a fair amount before that, so I wasn't too nervous in terms of the competition. I obviously knew I was only 6 months in. I'd love to win, but I knew it was practically mostly unrealistic expectations, so all I wanted to do is do my best. And so went in there pretty relaxed, I would say. A little bit of butterflies, but nothing major, but really just enjoying the situation and trying to appreciate being there in such an awesome environment. CrossFit Games put on such a great show. You looked after like super well. Everything's run super professionally, and being there with these, I'd say, awesome guys. Everyone I spoke to and dealt with, they were a great bunch of guys. Majority, everyone that I dealt with really humble and sincere, so down to earth guys, and yeah, it was good to hang out with the guys, and so it was a great experience obviously going then. So yeah, what I learned from the 2012 CrossFit Games, firstly I learned that my typical CrossFit type workouts were not that good. I knew that sort of going in as well from regionals. I think on the regional stats I came last. So out of all the regional athletes, all the 48 men, I think I was last when they put all our regional scores together. But I learned that I had to improve my typical CrossFit metabolic sort of conditioning work, and my Olympic lifting had to improve. And then I mostly spent too much time on that, on especially the Olympic lifting, and it got a lot better. And then I suffered on the other end, which is typical CrossFit. If you do too much specific work, then you tend to leave out other stuff. And so I would say that when I went back to CrossFit Games, I needed to do more just metabolic conditioning, and I suffered a bit there. So having novel and or unknown events at the CrossFit Games, for me personally, the more unknown and the more novel it is, I actually like that. To expect, I'm not sure what they'll do in the age groups. Obviously in the individuals, they tend to put more unknown stuff in. I would like them to add in some novel stuff in the age groups, or more novel stuff in the age groups. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.